SCR hasn't really been expanding its map recently, and if you've been playing, you've probably noticed it. Updates continue to roll out, new routes keep appearing, yet the actual map barely seems to grow. Take version 2.3 for example. The changelog is over 2 pages long, yet less than 2 miles of new track have been added. So what's going on here? The thing is, SCR really is slowing down map expansion, but instead of just doing less, SCR is replacing that growth with something else entirely. Instead of building outward, SCR is reshuffling its network, reusing existing infrastructure to create something that feels new even though it really isn't. And as strange as that might sound, there are actually 2 very good reasons why SCR is choosing this over regular network expansion. But before we get into all of that, we first need to talk about optimization. God damn it. Like any Roblox game, SCR needs to be well optimized so it can run smoothly on lower-end devices. This is especially important for SCR given that a significant chunk of its player base is on mobile. Now, many players believe this is why SCR isn't actually expanding, but that assumption only takes a fraction of the story into consideration. A few years ago, SCR replaced its old, and quite ineffective, part streaming system with Roblox's built-in instant streaming, which only loads parts of the map closest to you. As a result, the gameplay experience became significantly smoother, smooth enough for 70-player servers to become the norm. That said, no optimization system is perfect. In recently redesigned areas like Barely and Hampton Hargate, there's still noticeable lag when entering or spawning in, even on higher-end devices. Though, this isn't a result of SCR's map size, and it doesn't limit map expansion either. In reality, this phenomenon is simply the result of having too many parts within one area. Now, saying that optimization doesn't matter for expansion wouldn't be accurate, as it just doesn't play the role you might expect. Every Roblox game has something called an origin point, which serves as a reference point for all of the objects within the game. The further the game expands from this reference point, the harder it becomes to accurately calculate each object's position. And as a result, your device has to work harder to keep up, and that's when the lag really starts to hit. Now, SCR made a smart move here by placing its origin point near the center of the railway network, specifically at Barely. But there's only so much it can do with this. At a certain point, the map itself has to be adapted in order to keep performance stable. A clear example of this can be seen on the Rayleigh Bay branch. Splitting off from Edgemead, the branch is just over 2 miles long, yet you can easily see the skyline of Rayleigh Bay from Faymere. That's because of the branch's U-shaped design, which loops back south to keep the branch closer to the origin point at Barely. But that still doesn't capture the full picture, as there is yet another reason as to why SCR chooses to reshuffle rather than expand, and it has to do with development efficiency. Generally, from a development standpoint, it's often safer to rework and reuse the existing network than to expand outward, risk new bugs or performance issues, and slow down updates. By focusing on reshuffling instead of building large extensions, SCR can save time and put more effort into other parts of the game that desperately need attention. Now, although reshuffling is a smart, time-efficient way to keep updates fresh, it can't fully replace traditional map expansion. To keep the network truly diverse, new extensions still need to be added, just in more creative ways. Take Metro, for example. Yes, that Metro. It has what feels like a surprisingly extensive network, with over 20 different routes to drive across more than 30 stations in the Stepford metro area. But here's the catch. Most of Metro's routes aren't really new, since they largely reuse existing right-of-way. And while certain sections, such as the Metro Core, run on newly built tracks, they still mostly follow existing corridors, just with extra stations added along the way. That said, without a few new extensions, Metro definitely wouldn't be what it is today. While many of its newer branches are very short, with some even being under a mile long, they still play a major role in shaping the network. Without them, Metro would just be yet another Connect clone. But by adding a handful of short new branches, such as the Barton Loop, SCR was able to create something that feels brand new, even if most of it was built on what was already there. This shows exactly how SCR approaches map expansion today, not by creating massive new lines, but by creating smaller, more unique additions built around the limits of performance and development time. At the end of the day, SCR's policy of reshuffling isn't random. It comes down to a trade-off. Building new extensions takes a lot of development time, and if they aren't optimized properly, they can start to affect performance. Again? Really? At the same time, expanding the network makes SCR feel more varied and is necessary to keep the gameplay experience fresh. This ongoing balance between expansion and optimization is what ultimately shapes the idea behind reshuffling the network.